My sister might notice that this is her sweatshirt, but it is her sweatshirt. I definitely stole it from her because I wanted something to remember her by. So number 11. Hey guys, I am back again with another video, and today I am filming in my closet. All right, so hey guys, I'm back again, and today I am filming in my closet because it's raining and there is just too much rain outside. So today we're gonna do number 10.5, 11, 12, 13, and 13 and a half. Okay. So number 10 is 10 and a half. Number 10 and a half is balance is key. When we're looking at balance, we need to take into consideration a good pointer for looking. So when we look at balance, like I said earlier, balance is key. So when you have finally mastered being, how you say, selfish enough, then you can go back and revert back to being selfless. When you have an equal distributed balance between being selfish and selfless, then you can truly maneuver the different aspects of what will be coming at you. So I just wanted to add that in into this series because I think that it's very important for us to also have an equal balance. But if you're suffering in life and you're realizing that I'm not getting anywhere, and you know it's because you're too much of a giving person, and so now you have to be selfish, well, you can't constantly be selfish because then that goes back to you not being abundant for others, but you only being abundant for yourself. So you have to have an equal balance between being selfish and selfless. All right, see you guys later. Balance is key because you are doing good at work, but you're overweight. Okay, so what does that mean? You have to have a balance in life. So number 10.5 is about balancing things, okay? So you need to have a balance within whatever it is that you're doing, you know? If you have too much of something, they always say too much of something that is bad, you know, or too much of something that is good for you can be bad. Let me correct myself. They always say too much of something good can actually be bad for you. So you have to have things like that are in moderation. So for example, you're working out and you decide, you know what, I'm gonna work out now because I'm overweight and I really want to be more healthy. Just having a good balance within yourself and knowing, you know, I'm not putting too much on myself. I'm able to balance everything that's going on. It's not a burden for me to do the things that I'm doing for myself. So just balancing out your day-to-day activities, even like your emotions or just the things that you're going through. I'm sorry if I'm like looking somewhere else. I'm trying to look like right above the light because this light can be really blinding. Okay, so number 11. Woo woo, woo woo. Hey, 11 is when life conditions don't equal your blueprint, you will be sad or angry, etc. You will go through emotional distress because of your life conditions. Sometimes this is gonna happen, and I want for people to understand that, like I said, you have to understand the impermanence in life, because when you understand the impermanence in life, you're not becoming imbalanced. That's why we have number 10.5 as being a balance is key in life. Not putting too much on yourself that you can't bear. So number 11, when life conditions don't equal your blueprint, you will be sad, you will be angry, and you will go through these emotions. It's okay to feel. I want to tell people this. At one point in my life, I had a therapist, and what I learned in life is that it's okay to feel how you feel. It's not okay when you act on these emotions, like when you're angry and you decide to become physical. Like I stated in my previous video, you just have to understand that growing in life is going to be painful because of the situations we go through. Whether it means it's pain that is caused because, personally because of something that you're going through, or personally something that you're seeing other people go through in the world, or just someone you care about. It is going to be very frustrating, but you have to have a control on your emotions, because if you do not control your emotions, then guess what? You're going to allow your emotions to control you. All right, number 12. Number 12 says, 12 brings me to being a realist about your goals. You also need to be a realist about your goals. When you're not being realistic with yourself and creating realistic, ideal goals for yourself, then guess what? You are going to be imbalanced and you're going to be upset, because guess what? You want to be going to the moon, but you don't have the NASA training, that you need to have incorporated to be trained and well versed enough to go to the moon. I'm not saying that it's impossible. What I'm saying is you have to be realistic in the sense of, you are a McDonald's worker and you want to fly to the moon tomorrow. Well, I'm not saying anything is impossible, because it goes back to me stating that the universe has an answer to everything, which is yes. But you have to understand divine timing. Are you putting the work in to receive, these ideal goals that you're setting for yourself? So set a small goal, set a medium goal, and set a large goal. And then even still, you can set an even larger goal. And what you do is you take steps, like the stairs, and you're going up. And you can have these goals. They can be something that are totally aligned and parallel with each other, or they can be goals that have nothing to do with each other. All right, so number 13, you have your own self-esteem, because if you are not grateful, you will experience pain. Talked about 13.5, status, name, and influence. This deals with identity, and your personality alters based on the perceptions. Okay, so this is 13.5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this will be the last one. So 13.5, status, name, and influence. I believe I read in Steve Harvey's book, don't get me wrong, a man is stigmatized by his status, his name, and his influence. Okay, well, the status of a man, what do we know about status? When you look at a lot of politicians, celebrities, they have status, and they are more able to be, when you look at celebrities, you're able to notice this about them. If you commit the same crime that they commit, they're more likely to get off on the crime than you are. Why? Because of the status that they hold in the public eye. Or switch it around. You commit a crime and a celebrity commits a crime. Well, instead of the celebrity just getting a slap on the wrist, society is holding the celebrity more responsible than they're holding a regular civilian. Why is that? Because you are a leader in the eye of the community, and so because of that, whether you wanted to be a public figure or not, there's going to be more of a shaming factor on you. So understanding status, name. I'm not talking about, well, my name is Angel Savage and that has to do with my happiness. No. Name. The name that you create for yourself. So meaning, the name that you have for yourself essentially is like what is associated with your name. So in my past, when people would think about Angel, they would think the exact opposite of an angel because of how I behaved and how I acted. And my name didn't resemble the behaviors that I put out there. So next is influence. The influence that you have over people, are you using this influence positively? Are you using this influence negatively? How are you using your influence for the community? These things have a lot to do with your identity, and your personality can be altered if you view yourself as being a low status person who is in poverty, and because of this you feel like you have no influence, so your name, which is stigmatized to your identity, you now feel like you're a nobody. I don't want for people to feel that way. I want for people to feel empowered by these three things: status, name, and influence. You make them what you create in your mind. Okay? But I just want to once again go over these things. So balance is key, because you are supposed to have a good moderation of everything. When you're in good moderation, then it's to the point of where you're not giving yourself too much of something, and you're not being ungrateful and being greedy and not being abundant. There we go again. Being abundant for other people is what you want to become. Because when you're abundant for other people, then the return factor comes into play. So there's a balance. We're not always going to be perfect. For example, when I went back to, I don't even know if I have to talk about that, but when I went back to my ex, I went back to him, but the thing is that I didn't tell you was that I was actually talking to someone else. But I needed comfort to know whether or not, whatever it was in my mind, whether it was really going to work this time, or if everything that I had told myself was actually true. I needed to figure it out. So in return, I hurt someone's feelings. Fast forwarding, the guy ends up hitting me up later, not my ex, my boo that I was with, and then I left my boo to go back to my ex. So my boo hits me up and he's like, hey, da da da, I really miss you. You're a wonderful person. I tell him, hey, you were a wonderful person. And then the next day he says to me, oh, by the way, I have a girlfriend. And so in that moment, did I deserve to be the victim? No, because you have to understand how balance works. And I can use balance in a lot of different ways, but I'm just using balance in this way, where you have to understand that in return for the energy that you put out, regardless of whether you're justifying any measure of behavioral actions that you put out there, the truth of the matter is, I hurt someone else's feelings. So as the way karma works, when he told me, hey, I have a girlfriend, did I deserve to be upset in that moment? Did I deserve to be sad? No, because I have to understand that this is how balance works. Another way that you can look at balance is not eating too many sugary foods. If we eat too many sugary foods, then guess what? We are going to become a diabetic, or we're going to become obese. No matter how you place balance in your life, or whatever perspective you choose to use, you have to understand that balance, no matter in what form that it's coming in, that it is always going to be just, and that you will deserve what you get. Just desserts is what it's called. So 11, when life conditions don't equal your blueprint, you're going to be sad or angry or whatever, etc. You're going to go through whatever emotion you're going to go through. Why? Well, you're going to go through these emotions because in number 12, it tells us that you have to be realistic about your goals. If you're not realistic about your goals, then come on, dude. Like, how do you think you're ever going to make it in this world? Hey, I want to go to law school, but I never got my bachelor's degree. I never took the LSAT. I never prepared myself in preparation to becoming this successful person that I wanted to become. Yeah, some people are the exception and they never prepared and they're just these lucky lottery winning people. But guess what? You're not the exception. You can be the exception, but what I'm saying is you have to live your life like you're not the exception, so that when you do become the exception, you are prepared. Okay? 13. You have your own, You have your own self-esteem, because if you are not grateful, you will experience pain. I'm sorry, I skipped this one. So 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know how I skipped 13, but I'm going to spend some time talking about 13. I talked about 13.5, but I'm just going to go ahead and cut this forward. So 13, you have your own self-esteem, meaning bringing me back to not allowing relationships to control you. So when you allow relationships to control you, what happens is you're affirming someone else's beliefs within you, and you're allowing them to place a placebo about yourself and your characteristic traits that are untrue. So what you have to do is have your own form of self-esteem. You have to figure out in life who you are. I figured out in my life that in order for Angel to be happy, I want to work out. I need to keep Jesus first. I need to be doing something productive constantly. Certain things like these help with my self-esteem. Eating healthy helps with my self-esteem, because when you put good things into your body, guess what? You feel great about yourself. All right. And if you're not grateful, and you're one of those people who are like a lowly type of person who's always talking down and bad on themselves, then guess what? You're hurting your self-esteem. You're distracting yourself from your blueprint. And now, because you're distracting yourself from your blueprint, you're gonna feel chaotic. You're not gonna know where the next step is, because you're allowing emotions to control your life. And you don't want for these wrong type of emotions to distract you. We want to use healthy distractions in our life to place us where we need to be in the future. We don't want to be in the past constantly thinking, if I would have did this different, had I done that different, or if I would have wore my hair different in this video, maybe I should have not wore this sweatshirt when I was trying to convey a message to people. Maybe that would have helped people. No. That's not gonna help. The past, every second, every nanosecond is passing, literally. And in track, there's a thing where every split second counts. So with every second that you have, you must maximize your timing, because timing is so vital to us. It's the one essential element of, our journey within this universe that we cannot get back. I'm not a scientist, so I can't tell you which direction that time is moving, but I will tell you this, that if you're dwelling on the negative timing in life, you're not going to succeed in where you have to go, unless you're looking back and you're reflecting and saying, you know what? This is what has prevented me from being happy. And this is what I have to do in the future to allow myself to flourish and not only be abundant for myself, but to be abundant for other people and bring prosperity into other people's lives. You understand? All right. I really do hope that this video helps someone. I'm sorry that I had to film it on my closet floor. It's raining on and off really badly, and I just really didn't want for there to be a situation of me having to battle the rain. I know this video may have been a little bit shorter, and I do apologize for that. Hello. Because you say you are doing good at work, but you are overweight. 11, when life conditions don't eat, and when they have some form of right? So